Storm Issue 1 opens with Ororo Munroe getting ready to make an appearance at a press conference where she will announce her candidacy for Congress. In the first few pages, there's a nod to her past, from her time with the X-Men to her royal ties in Morocco and Wakanda. We also get a glimpse of her current radiantly beautiful and powerful self. Despite all her fame and abilities, we see that she remains grounded and human. Before delivering a major speech, she takes a moment to breathe deeply, revealing her nervousness about speaking in front of large crowds. Following a recent event that improved public perception of mutants, Ororo decides to use this momentum to seek a position of influence and foster positive change. Before we continue, don't forget to recommend my video and click the subscribe button to stay updated with more comic book content like this and help support small content creators like me. A flashback reveals the incident that shifted public opinion. An explosion at a nuclear plant in Oklahoma left the surrounding areas in ruin. Storm and Frenzy were nearby assessing the damage, and Frenzy remarks that finding any survivors would be nothing short of a miracle. Storm reminds Frenzy that they are there for one purpose: to perform miracles. Unfortunately, the shockwaves from the explosion keep coming, but Storm steps in, doing everything possible to redirect them. Amid the relentless waves, Frenzy begins the process of rescuing and evacuating survivors. Meanwhile, Storm sustains a serious injury while fighting off more shockwaves. She then makes the decision to track down the source of the destructive blasts. The source turns out to be a nuclear power plant whose radiation has contaminated the surrounding environment. Unfortunately, Storm immediately starts showing symptoms of radiation poisoning due to her exposure. When she reaches the origin of the shockwaves, she discovers a young mutant at the reactor's core, clearly overwhelmed by his out-of-control, destructive powers. Surrounded by death, the mutant pleads with Storm to end his life, but instead, she calms him with a comforting embrace. Rumors start to spread in the media that the explosions may have been caused by engineers experimenting with alien technology. Some citizens express deep gratitude, acknowledging that beloved mutants were there to protect the city as best as they could. However, after conducting multiple tests on the nuclear plant, Tony Stark informs Storm that the accident wasn't caused by the engineers, but by the young mutant whose powers unexpectedly manifested. Storm realizes she faces a significant dilemma: either disclose the real cause of the explosion and risk undoing the positive public opinion of mutants, or conceal the truth and allow the blame to fall on the deceased engineers. Later, Storm proceeds with her press conference, secretly enduring the effects of radiation poisoning from the rescue. She announces that her campaign will focus on providing sanctuary for those in need through her floating nature preserve, which is positioned above the city like a watchful parent. Storm also reveals that it was a mutant, not the engineers, responsible for the destruction and loss of life in Oklahoma City. This revelation instantly reignites human prejudice, turning mutants into targets of public hatred once again. In the final scene, we witness the extremely powerful cosmic being, Eternity, taking note of Storm's decision, deeming her worthy and proclaiming, "To me, my eternal Storm."